Leslie, I've always been a big fan of the Irwin Allen big-budget spectacles. Now, you were at the helm of the ill-fated Poseidon cruise ship.
Here, here.
Yeah. Now, what do you remember of shooting that movie?
Well, I think it was a marvelous entertainment movie. But to be on the set, you know, to go around and see how everything had been designed, and then to go to the set where the ship has been turned over, and there you are, and you're walking on the ceiling. And that's where you're standing, and you look up and you see the chairs and the stools and everything hanging from what was now the ceiling in the studio. And to see how they put those things together and achieve, you know, the effect was just wonderful.
Now,
it was a thoroughly entertaining film. I often get asked about the picture because of the one line that I did, which was ad lib, where you see the water coming in. Yeah. And I say, my line is, "Oh my God." And many people have talked to me about that line. Why, I don't know. I don't know why there are things that we pick out in movies that we see. So we use the line in Naked Gun 33 1/3. And there have been times when Charlton Heston has used the line too. So, you know, I do my imitation of my character, my fun imitation of Charlton, when I think that the thing they're going to open is the envelope with the bomb in it. And it's the Best Picture Award or whatever. And they say what is that? And they said, the Best Picture Award. And I said, "Oh my God." Then I run out. So that came from Poseidon Adventure.
I interviewed Robert Stack not too long ago, and we talked about the first airplane film.
Yeah.
And he said he was pretty reluctant to do it at first. Were you surprised when the Zuckers approached you about being in that movie?
No, I had always had the secret yearning to do comedy, and I had kept it secret from everybody, but I really felt that David and Jerry and Jim had discovered that I was being secretive about this, and they had penetrated the disguise, and that's why it came to me. But no, I was yearning to do comedy. It's interesting that, well, because, you know, it's fascinating, because Robert is a friend of mine, and he's wonderfly funny. He's bonkers. You know, Robert is really wacko. He's worse than I am, I think. You know. So the idea, well, even Peter had a slight reluctance because of the flatulence in the cockpit seat when I describe what happens when you eat the fish. And, you know, we all have those things that are at work. And, of course, the more you do Naked Gun humor and do this kind of comedy, the more you realize how totally unimportant those considerations are or were, you know.
I've always been amazed at how American movies are received in foreign countries. Now, how has Frank Drebin gone over in foreign markets?
Seems to have gone over in England, of course, very heavily in Germany. I get as much mail from Germany as I get from the UK. And also, it just seems to be spreading. I even think that we're going to make inroads in Japan, where American comedy does not survive or fare well. I don't know what it is, but boy, knock on whatever it is, it seems to be, Drebin seems to be acceptable or gain entree pretty well everywhere.
Now, you're pretty famous for the whoopee cushion that
What do you mean by that? I was young, I needed the money. It had nothing to do with me.
Now, didn't you get a chance to use it one time with Prince Rainier?
Yes, I did. I was over at a charity golf tournament, and I was riding in the golf cart with the Prince, and the promoter, Wendell Niles, had naturally come up seeking to find out how the Prince was. He's the main, you know, he's our host, and he had the entourage following him too, maybe a dozen people. And he said, "Leslie," he said, "isn't this really a wonderful tournament and a day?" I said, "Wendell, to ride here with His Serene Highness like this and to see the beauty of this golf course, looking down there at the white caps in the Mediterranean, up here the fir trees and the flowers and the sides of the fairways and the green of the fairways, and it's such a beautiful, glorious sunny day with those little white clouds." He says, "It's so," I said, "it's so moving to me. I can't describe the emotion that I feel." Well, the Prince goes, "Nah!" like this, and he started to laugh. And then his security man, Lumkowski is his name, he was laughing. And before the end of the day, the Prince asked me for one. And Lumkowski said to me, I've never seen the Prince laugh so hard in 25 years.
Okay.
This is 20, yeah.
Sorry, and one very quick question. The Ayatollah scene in the first film, I just saw it again recently. I couldn't stop laughing. But when you did it, were you a little worried that...
We made, yeah, considerations, because And you know, they cut the scene out in the Philippines, and it was taken out of the movie houses in Turkey because there was a diplomatic meeting between the Turkish ambassador and someone in Iran, and it was a condition that they take that movie out of the theater. So you can't tell who was going to decide that it was insulting and that you were responsible and present you with a bingo. You know, it could happen. So it was a consideration. Fortunately, nothing happened.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.